Hey, the Mad Hermit here, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about Richard Garriott's Easter celebration, which was held April 4th, 2015 at his lakefront property in Austin called Castleton. Now, this is an annual event, as I understand it, that he holds for his close friends and relatives, and also for the people he works with. So the Portalarium staff and their families attend, and it's just a gathering, a little festival that he has. And because the Portalarium tour and the roundtable were held on the day before, April 3rd, he was gracious enough, him and Laetitia, his wife, were gracious enough to invite us to this event because a lot of people flew in from out of town, some people from as far away as Germany. I'm not sure if there was anyone who flew in further than that, but there were a couple people that flew in from Germany. And this was really a nice thing to offer. It was not by any means expected or part of a reward. It was just his way of just sharing a little bit of his, adventure, which is his life, is a bit of an adventure. And it was something I think that we all really appreciated, and I wanted to share a little bit of that experience with you. Rolling up to his property was a pretty exciting experience, I can't lie to you. You go, off this private road. It's a dirt road, and it splits, and there's a sign there that says Britannia Manor the Third, and it points in one direction, and the road's closed off. And then going forward, there's, I think, the Curtain Theater and also Castleton. And Castleton's really interesting because, it's like going to a theme park. It's kind of like the beginning of an Ultima game is kind of how he has it set up, where there's these little, it almost looks like there's a little Renaissance fair going on there. And there are little cabins, and there are tree houses, and there's a big, pirate ship that's on the lake. And across from the pirate ship is a fort, and they overlook each other. And they're kind of like big boy toys, if you ask me. It is quite the spectacle to behold, and something that you couldn't enjoy alone. It's something you have to enjoy with others, and I think that's why. I think that's part of Richard's character and way of being, is that he creates these things to enjoy and experience with others. As I understand it, the ship, the pirate ship, can fire at the fort, and I think they disabled that for the particular demographic that was there. There were a lot of young kids and stuff like that, so I think they took the launching abilities off there. But the pirate ship you can actually climb to the top of. There's 2 crow's nests, and you can literally climb up there, and you take your life into your own hands if you do so. I wasn't brave enough. Sir Frank was. I saw Sir Frank climb it. But you can swing. There's some ropes, and you can swing from these ropes, and that's the battleship. And it's just a great, fun place to roleplay, actually. The gypsy wagons there, I encountered the gypsy wagon that you would see, if you were trying to roll your character in an Ultima game. I think I remember reading or hearing Richard talk once about, his philosophy in wealth accumulation. And he says wealth is something that you accumulate to have experiences, and that makes a lot of sense. And I know a lot of people, when they do get wealthy, they kind of hoard their cash and try to make more money and don't enjoy it. And I think Richard is different in that regard. It's very evident in his in Castleton, because he definitely, and also in everything you read about, the things he's experienced and the things he's done is about enjoying it and collecting and creating this wealth to enjoy experiences. So it was really nice of him to share that with us. I brought my family, and there was an Easter hunt, and there were a lot of kids playing around. He had each cabin set up in such a way that there were things going on in them, and that's why you'll see these festive costumes. I mean, in fact, Richard was dressed up as Batman. Laetitia, his wife, was dressed up as Wonder Woman. Kinga was dressed up as Supergirl, and Ronan was dressed up as Spider-Man. And this was because Kinga said she wanted to dress up as superheroes, and so they facilitated that, and it was really cute, really endearing, and it was really interesting because pretty much they were the only ones dressed up. And that was cool, though. It was cool. It was just like they were enjoying the moment for their kids. And, kudos to them for that. A lot of fun. Each station, like I said, each cabin was set up, in a different way. And the children were given passports and had to go from cabin to cabin and complete a quest or something to get a stamp on their passport. And I can't tell you what happened if you completed it all, because we didn't. I think there were 10 stations, but for some reason we did like half of them or something like that. There was just a lot to do, a lot to see. A limited amount of time. I think it ran from 12 to 3. I think we ran late though, and people hung out later. It was really cute. They even have like this maypole dance where the kids got to, grab a ribbon from this maypole and kind of, dance around and weave their bodies to kind of wrap and make this, wrap the pole essentially in this ribbon. And, that was cute. Of course, it gets all discombobulated and kids that should be going left go right. And maybe it's a left, right thing. Anyway, it was cute. It was fun. What else? Like I said, there are tree houses there. And for the most part, it was just kind of a very informal gathering. There might have been 80 to 110 people tops. I might be overestimating. Might have been more like 60 to 100. But, people just had a good time. There's like a life-size chessboard on the ground, so you can play chess. I know a lot of the guys were playing chess, and that was cool. Starlong, his booth, by the way, was a New Orleans-themed booth, and he was one of the checkpoints the kids had to go to, and they had to crack his egg. So they'd each get an egg, he'd hold one, and the child would hold one, and they'd smash eggs, and if they broke his egg, I think they got like 2 treats, and if their egg broke, then they got 1. And so Dallas was also working that booth with him, or nearby. I saw Dallas hopping around on some bouncy creature, so I don't know about that. But Dallas was there with his 2 beautiful daughters. He asked me which one's more beautiful. Couldn't tell him. They're both beautiful. And so thanks for putting me on the spot there, Dallas. But what else? I guess on a personal note, I mean, you know what? Also, so if you go off to one side of his property, he has a 2-scale replica of the Shakespearean Globe Theater, which he calls the Curtain. And it's 2-scale, just a smaller version of it. And it's really neat because there are actual performances that are held there. And that night, actually, I think it was called The Baron's Men, were going to perform Measure for Measure. And Richard was, again, kind enough to invite the attendees to attend that as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay. I had to get a 5 a.m. flight that following morning. So that means I had to wake up. I had to be at the airport at 3 a.m., which meant I had to get some sleep, is what it really boils down to. But it was a really cool experience. And, what made it extra special for me, actually, was I was brought into the Order of the New Britannian Empire, which is the ultimate geek award that you could possibly want. Of all the awards you could possibly receive, that was a cool one. Richard kind of inducted me into that order last year, I believe it was, early last year. One of the things that they were going to do were they were going to make these medals and send them out to the various ONBE recipients. And I was hopeful that he would bestow this award on me. And he was kind enough to actually do that during this ceremony. During the Easter celebration, he actually pulled me to the side with Star, and I thought he'd forget. And if he did, it was totally understandable. Whenever you're having an event, whenever you're having a wedding reception or a birthday party or anything with, even like 10 people at your house, it's hard to manage your time. Here he had so many more. Yet he still remembered, pulled me over to the side, and, gave me the Ultima Geek Reward, in this case, Shroud the Avatar Geek Reward, the Order of the New Britannian Empire Medallion. It's going to be obviously my most treasured trinket from his work to date. And so I was very thankful, very appreciative to receive that. And definitely, the whole experience was a highlight, and that was just the cherry on top. Anyway, that's a brief synopsis. There's not much more I can tell you about the event. It was really informal. There wasn't like a sit-down get-together. In fact, I think there was a group picture at one point that I missed. And But that was the experience. It was pretty cool. And I hope that you get a little taste of what that was without having to endure a flight and all that nonsense. But anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have questions or comments, leave them below, and I'll see you online.